Hey friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm dropping in to share with you a new 12 by 12 scrapbooking layout, and it's got mixed media on it. It has got hand stitching, and it also used up some more scraps of paper. I'm beginning by prepping my cardstock base with some white gesso. Actually, I think this is clear gesso that I'm using. I like to apply it with a paintbrush. It works well for me to get it applied evenly. And then once it's dry, which it doesn't take very long, by the way, once it's dry, I add my mixed media. I am using Distress spray ink in Salvage Patina again. This is quickly becoming an absolute favorite color of mine and a go-to when I want to use blue at least. There's a lot of blue in this layout and mostly comprised of the mixed media. On top of that, I'm adding a star and these 3 pieces of paper that are 3 by 3 inches. They were hand stitched. And before they were hand stitched, I added strips of pattern paper that I'd actually cut previously for yesterday's project actually. So if you want to check that out, I'll be sure to include the link down in the description box so you can have a peek at that. I layered them over the square, which was just trimmed down from white cardstock. And I did that to 2 of them. And then the third one actually is just stamped. I created my own pattern paper by using a star stamp that I had in my stash. 3 stars actually. They are all in varying sizes. And I used different colors to stamp a repeating pattern on that little 3 by 3 square of paper. I also wanted to hand stitch the star, which I did. And then I also ink blended all 3 of the 3 by 3 squares, the star, and then the edge of my layout base. Now I'm getting into the meat of my layout today. I knew that I wanted to add stamping in the background for more of a mixed media look and for something different. So I used 2nd and 3rd generation stamping on this layout rather than for 2nd and 3rd. I didn't want the stamping to be really bold and show up really well. I wanted it to kind of fade into the background, which is like opposite of what we normally want, right? We want things to be front stage and center and really noticeable, but in this case, that's not what I wanted. And I absolutely love the look and how it turned out. With that done, I adhered my 3 by 3 squares, lots of 3s, to the layout using some craft foam and liquid glue to get them attached. And now I'm working on the title. I decided to stamp the title, and I had the phrase "your in this particular stamp set, and I thought that that would work well, except I didn't want the word like the letter A, in there. So I was going to use washi tape to mask it off, and then I was like, why do that when I could just cut it off? It's not going to make any difference. So I stamped it, trimmed it down, cut off the word and I'm left with the word your, which works for my title because the title is going to be Your Awesome Dad. And I used the word awesome from this Thickers titles pack that I had in my stash. And it also was the right color as well to fit with this color scheme, which was bonus. So added that. The A actually cracked when I was trying to take it off the carrier sheet. Kind of made my heart skip a beat for half a second because I thought I'd totally broken it. It hadn't broken all the way through, but mostly. So just be careful when you are taking stickers off their carrier sheets. They may be a little more delicate than you thought they would be. With that done, I added the word dad from Ellie Studio stickers alphas that I had in my stash as well. They're just plain black. That was the closest I could get to the dark brown that I'm using in this layout. I don't have any alphas that are dark brown, so black was the next natural choice. Actually, as a side note, I did try white Ellie Studio alphas that I had in my stash, but they ended up bleeding into the background and they were really hard to see. So I swapped those out and used the black instead. With the title done, I am now embellishing my layout. I'm pretty well getting close to being finished. This came together really quickly. I die cut the stars from scrap paper that I had in my stash. I used my Cricut to cut that. I also used my Cricut to cut the star. Now the star was actually the positive of a die cut that I had used sometime in the past on another project, and I hung on to it. I was going to die cut a completely different star, and then I figured, why, when I have a perfectly good one here? And it uses up more of my stash. So that is the one that I stuck with. So it's not a perfect star. Some of the edges are a little bit softer and don't come to a point like a star normally would, but it's perfect. And it works quite well. Those are my scraps that I killed in the making of this project. And I just finished writing out my journaling. I created little strips using my little hack. I like to make the lines beforehand using a straight edge ruler and a pencil, and then I write my journaling in between it, and then I trim them out. They usually end up being like 1/4 of an inch. When they've been trimmed out, I used my liquid glue to attach them to the last 3x3 square, and then I'm adding some more die cut stars around it. With that done, I'm going to go back to, maybe not, I'm going to add the date, which I'm stamping in Close to My Heart espresso ink, which is the same color that the little your phrase title was stamped in. And then actually that's going to be the same paper that my layout is being matted to. That's it, my friends. I added some stickers from an ancient 12x12 sticker sheet that I had in my stash. I do believe it is an Echo Park sticker sheet. I'm just adding some splatter now, also in salvage patina. And with that, this layout is complete. I hope this layout inspired you. I hope my process inspired you as well. If it did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and a like. Oh, interrupting myself again. I forgot to mention that I do add a Tim Holtz phrase sticker to the photo. I trimmed it in half because it was a little bit too long for my 2x2 photo. And I ended up putting it in a really dumb spot. It covers a good portion of my daughter's head, and I didn't really want that to happen. But c'est la vie, it is what it is, right? Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and a like. I just want to welcome all of my new subscribers as well. Thanks for joining me on my crafty journey. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, maybe consider doing that if you enjoy watching mixed media layouts, traveler's notebook layouts, and everything in between. I will be back again soon with more creative inspiration. Bye, friends.